What is business? Is it making money or helping people? Who are businessmen? Are they CEOs or small business owners? No matter how big or small a business is, it speaks the same language, the language of business.
Hello, my name is Jason Palmer and welcome to the Language of Business. Time is money, so let's get straight down to business.
What is the basic daily diet in some developing countries? Dairy products, cereals, or vegetables? The answer is cereals are the basic daily diet in some developing countries.
This is not surprising, as cereals have so many vitamins and substances essential for a healthy body. Cereals, or grain, can be in the form of rice, wheat, millet, oats, or maize. By the way, maize is the most popular cereal crop in the world, and there are many different varieties. The most well-known and widely grown are platta maize, white sweet corn, yellow maize, and white maize.
Maize, also known as corn, is one of the main and most popular cereal foods in many countries, including the USA and most of the African countries. Maize not only provides the necessary calories for healthy, daily energy, but is also a rich source of the vitamins and many minerals. Let's meet David Mwanaka, the first person to grow and sell white maize in the UK.
I'm David Mwanaka. I originally come from Zimbabwe, and I'm the first person in this country to grow white maize. I'm the first farmer in the UK to grow white maize.
Mwanaka Fresh Farm Foods is the only farm in the UK producing white maize. As the United Kingdom is colder than most places where white maize is grown, the maize grown here has a very interesting and unique taste. What is the biggest challenge about growing white maize? It's hard to grow, it's hard to harvest, it has a very short life. Can you guess? Check yourself.
One thing with maize, which most people don't know, is maize do have a shelf life of 1 day, which means you harvest maize today, you got to deliver it to whoever wants to eat it on the same day, and they've got to cook it or roast it or do whatever they want to do with it on the same day. So that's a big challenge if we want to pick this maize today and then sell it to someone in Scotland, and they've got to cook it today. So it means we have to start working as early as maybe 4 or 5, pick the maize, load it in vans, and then deliver it all over the UK on the same day. That's how difficult it is growing white maize.
According to David, white maize has a shelf life of 1 day. Shelf life is a synonym of serviceable life or useful life of the product. In other words, it is the length of time that the product can be kept before it becomes too old.
Maize do have a shelf life of 1 day, which means you harvest maize today, you got to deliver it to whoever wants to eat it on the same day, and they've got to cook it or roast it or do whatever they want to do with it on the same day.
Also, David stresses that it's important to harvest and deliver white maize on the same day. To harvest means to gather crop from the fields. Deliver or bring means to take something to a particular place or person. Let's listen once again to how David describes the biggest challenge of running his business.
So it means we have to start working as early as maybe 4 or 5, pick the maize, load it in vans, and then deliver it all over the UK on the same day. That's how difficult it is growing white maize.
In this part of the interview, David said that after picking the crop, they have to load it in vans. To load means to place or put a large quantity of something into a vehicle.
Pick the maize, load it in vans, and then deliver it all over the UK on the same day.
So, can you name the hardest thing about growing white maize? Right. It has a very short life.
One thing with maize, which most people don't know, is maize do have a shelf life of 1 day.
Now, try to match the words to their meanings.
Match the words to their meanings. Let's see. Harvest is gathering crops from the fields. To deliver means to take to a particular place. And load is putting a large quantity of something into a vehicle. Well done! Mwanaka Fresh Farm Food is a business that rents different pieces of land all over the country to grow its produce. Among its client list are major supermarket chains. Also, Mwanaka Fresh Farm Foods makes deliveries to shops and restaurants all over the country, as well as having its own farm shop where you can buy the produce directly.
How does David work with the clients? Does he take pre-orders? What are pre-orders? Pre-order is an order for the product placed before it is available for purchase. Also, it is an order made in advance.
How does David usually sell his products? Pre-orders only? Pre-orders and regular sales? Regular sales only? Let's find out the answer.
Yes, we do get pre-orders. Just like 10 minutes ago, I was just talking to one customer up in Northampton. The customers do order well in advance, but then we usually just take our orders when we start selling.
So, what method of selling did David choose? Correct. He takes pre-orders as well as selling maize to regular customers.
The customers do order well in advance, but then we usually just take our orders when we start selling.
This is not surprising. Not every farmer in the UK can offer such a variety of unique and exotic products.
Mwanaka Fresh Farm Food boasts of growing not only white maize and white sweet corn, but also other kinds of produce that most traditional farmers in the UK don't grow. The business tries to be very specialised. That's what makes it unique and successful.
Now, let's move on to the next part of our program and find out where David has started supplying his produce.
Do you know where white maize is mostly consumed? South America, North America, Africa? Watch the next clip and find out.
The product that we took to the stores wasn't white maize, it was white sweet corn. As I was doing my research to grow white maize, I discovered that there was also another product, white sweet corn. But then the people who eat white sweet corn are probably different from those who eat white maize. White maize is mostly eaten by people from Africa, Asia, South America. And white sweet corn is mostly the people from North America. And anyone else who eats yellow sweet corn, they can go for white sweet corn. So I had to think of a different market for white sweet corn. So the only way to market the white sweet corn in this country was to take it to the big supermarkets, which I did.
David said that he was doing his research about growing white maize. Research means collecting or discovering some new facts of information about a particular subject. Do research means finding information about something.
As I was doing my research to grow white maize, I discovered that there was also another product, white sweet corn. The only way to market the white sweet corn in this country was to take it to the big supermarkets, which I did.
David says that the only way to market the white sweet corn was to take it to big stores. To market is a synonym of expose for sale. In other words, it means to make a product available in shops. So here, David means that the only way to expose the product for sale was to make it available at big stores.
So, where do people eat most of the world's maize? The answer is South America and Africa.
White maize is mostly eaten by people from Africa, Asia, South America.
So thank you, David. Today we've heard some important words and phrases from the language of business. Do you remember them? They are shelf life, harvest, deliver, load, pre-order, do research, and market. And now it's time to check what you've learned today. Here is your task.
Match the two parts of these collocations. Shelf life, to do research.
Now we've learned some of the secrets of being a farmer. Interesting, right? So, would you like to run such a business? Let's ask David for some advice.
It's not just about farming, but it's also about enjoying the product.
Good job. Now you know everything about producing and selling white maize. But what about thinking of some other original business? Maybe you've already got an idea on how to do it. In this case, have no fear and go for it. This has been Jason Palmer. See you in the next episode of The Language of Business.